Thank you, Your Excellency. That statement really suffices. What I just want to say is that we have had a very cordial meeting as the two levels of government, and the resolutions that were agreed on, as read here, will change a lot of things. For instance, the summit resolution that the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury releases gross payroll costs to all counties by the second and third of every month, second or third of every month, ensures that every county then has money to meet their payroll costs, and that that then allows us to remit all statutory deductions, including SHA costs for staff in the counties, because you know the law requires that SHA premiums be paid by the 9th of every month for service to be enjoyed. So I have nothing much to add. We do agree with everything that has been said as captured in that communique. And as for the matter that I'm sure a lot of you would want to know what government is doing about, the Deputy President will speak to it, the drought situation and the need for mitigation. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson Governor Hamed. It is also important to note that the summit today has decided that every community health promoter in Kenya will be enrolled under SHA for medical insurance, because these are our frontline foot soldiers in the delivery of health, and for them to be comfortable to offer that critical service, the government of Kenya will offer comprehensive insurance for all the CHPs across Kenya, the 107,000 of them, and the cost of the premiums for that insurance will be borne by the national government and the county governments on a 50-50 basis. I think that is an important highlight for today, because these are our frontline soldiers, and we need them really to secure UHC and Taifa Care, and they are doing a wonderful job. Other than the stipend that we've been providing as the two levels of government, again jointly on a 50-50 basis, we are going to enroll them under SHA and make them a little more comfortable to serve the people of Kenya. The other thing that has come out of today's summit is we need UHC staff to be transitioned to permanent and pensionable terms, and that directive of the summit has been given today, and therefore there is no cause of alarm for the UHC staff. They should be sorted out in the next few weeks or months. Finally, maybe just to highlight some of the things you've said, we have county aggregation and advertising the first 13 county and aggregation and industrial parks, which are part of the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, that every county should have an aggregation industrial park. The first 13, I think the physical structures are ready, but we are dealing with the final issues to make sure that we start operationalizing them and getting people to set up shop and start operationalizing the first cohort, and then we go to the next cohort of county aggregation and industrial parks. Finally, we have noted that disbursements to counties is on time, except November, and the summit has directed that the November disbursement to counties be done by Thursday next week, and that is just about all that I wanted to perhaps highlight out of the so many other decisions that have been made by the summit today. We are amending the law to make sure that we don't have delays in the additional allocations to counties because of the to and forth movements of that law, the County Government's Additional Allocations Act, We are making it faster to make sure that counties tap into development partner support and additional grants by national government in a timely manner to make sure that devolution is financed so that it can work efficiently. So those are the highlights. Other than that, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. We have a situation in the country. We are advised by the meteorological experts that the short rains have not performed well. And therefore, there is an urgent need for us to respond in a preemptive manner to the growing concern because of the drought that has started to bite in many parts of the country, and the weather people are telling us that situation may prevail for a while. And as you are aware, these are the effects of climate change. You can be sure in the 2-3 years you'll have swings between floods and droughts. And therefore, we are prepared as government to make sure that we secure the food security of every person, and there is no need to worry. We have taken measures to use all the available resources, and I want to thank the county government for their partnerships, and therefore His Excellency the President has directed that we meet within the next 1, maximum 2 days as the national disaster preparedness infrastructure of the country, which brings together the 2 levels of government and other stakeholders, and therefore in the next 24 hours we'll be issuing a comprehensive statement on the mitigation and response measures that we are taking to make sure that no Kenyan sleeps without food, and we have enough resources, and where there are gaps we will mobilize resources from our partners, and we are sure that we will have a good Christmas season, a new year, and we will go out of our way to make sure that every Kenyan has food on the table, even as we look at long-term solutions of this problem. And you've heard the President, maybe this is the last statement I want to make. The President has been categorical that both in the State of the Nation address and subsequent addresses, he has made it clear that as a country, we can no longer aspire to be a modern country into the future if we continue relying on clouds to determine whether or not the people of Kenya will have food on their table. And that's why the National Infrastructure Fund is being established to cushion the country from this kind of shocks in the long term. Because some of the solutions that the National Infrastructure Fund will bring is to make sure we have enough water harvested, stored, and used to irrigation, so that we used for irrigation, so that we can put an additional 2.5 million acres under irrigation. That is where the future lies, and I think the President has already given us that position that it is going to be possible. We are raising 5 trillion shillings through the National Infrastructure Fund, mainly from the regular budget, but also from proceeds of privatization, and cushion those proceeds, and that amount of money will be cushioned and ring-fenced so that it doesn't get into recurrent expenditure as has happened in the past in our country. The money raised through the National Infrastructure Fund will be applied to solve significant problems that are holding our country back. One of it is our road infrastructure that doesn't support the economy enough to move into the first world, our railways, our airports, but also to solve our food security by having enough food, enough production of food. And the third component of that National Infrastructure Fund is going to help us generate adequate amount of electricity. Currently, we are at 2,300 megawatts. That is very little. We need 10,000 megawatts of electricity to support manufacturing including agro-processing and value addition that the irrigated agriculture is going to bring about. So we are in good stage, and 2026 is going to be a defining year for Kenya, and we are hoping that this is the last time that we are going to have, and perhaps we are towards the end of seeing situations where a drought comes and we have to look around for what to do about droughts. There are many countries we know of where it does not rain at all, but the people never sleep hungry, and there is no food security threat, and it doesn't rain in those countries. So let us not confuse rain and water. Those two are not connected. Rain comes from the clouds, but water is water. The National Infrastructure Fund is helping us solve the water problem. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, and thank you very much for your time. Asante sana. My colleagues are here. They are part of today's meeting, and thank you very much for withstanding and bearing with us during this address. Thank you very much.